I'm going to look at Psalm 42:3. My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all day long, where is your God? Tears are the language of the heart, and the heart needs times and seasons to speak without having to justify itself. We must never fear tears, as they are an important part of our heart and bring healing and wholeness to our process of growth. If you even have one eye open and observe the world around you with its wars, slavery, suffering, and rampant injustice, there must be times when you weep, cry out, and even despair over what we are doing to ourselves. Tears are the language that keeps our hearts soft and open to the God of all comfort. The part of my journey has been, I started out thinking just purely from my head that if I could just analyze and put together a manual on truths, that then people would see it and walk into the truth. And I realized over these years that emotions were vital. That I would say it this way: God created us to live out of our heart, and our mind was meant as a backup unit to create a language to explain our heart that we could then give through communication to someone else. But it's that heart, that center of our being that is, and I want to separate heart and mind, but in a sense, how they function is very different. And I find myself, to be honest with you, just times where I need to weep. And I'm getting better at the place where sometimes if I'm talking and I begin to weep, because I'm a softy at heart, that I'm not embarrassed about it, that I will cry because of the pain that I sense or feel in the situation or for God or whatever is going on. We see this in different Psalms. Psalms 80 verse 5. You have fed them with the bread of tears, and you have made them to drink tears in large measure. Psalm 102 verse 9. For I have eaten ashes like bread and mingled my drink with weeping. David is not afraid of these emotions. He embraces them as a vital part of life. He captures them, puts words to describe them, and then writes songs about them as an important part of his humanity. It seems they are as important to him as the joys and celebrations of life, for he knows it is a package deal, and you either get them all or lose them all. David writes of his journey. My heart is in anguish within me, and the terrors of death have fallen upon me. Fear and trembling come upon me, and horror has overwhelmed me. I am benumbed. That was Psalm 55, verses 4 and 5. This is Psalm 38:8. I am benumbed and badly crushed. I groan because of the agitation of my heart. Don't fear bringing all your emotions to God, expressing them honestly and vulnerably to Him, for that is how we maintain our intimacy with Him. A vital part of building depth in us and a capacity to share that depth with others is by learning to understand our emotional well-being. That emotions are not good or bad. That when we say good or bad, what we're really talking about is I like certain emotions and I don't like others. Emotions are the fruit of a value set, and the values is what the heart operates from. Where your treasures are, there will your heart be also. So the way, though, that the heart communicates is through emotions. So you understand passion at an emotional level, not necessarily at an analytical level. Although if your heart and mind are functioning together, the analytics of the mind working will give a clarity to the emotional passion of the heart. So don't be afraid of emotions. They're in many ways the path not to be focused on, but in being aware of them, they lead us to those core fears, values, and longings at the deep of our heart, the depths of our heart that God wants to meet us. There is a reason why God is called the God of all comfort. It's because He knows what we need is comfort, and comfort is first and foremost of all an emotional word. And we need to have a safe place where we can cry, where we can feel and own those feelings and express them in very specific words that are part of us. And as we do that, what we find is healing and wholeness and depth and intimacy are part of our relationship with God. I forget where it says in the Psalms, but he captures and holds the tears and puts them in a bottle. That's how precious our tears are to him. Don't be afraid of emotions. They're vital to depth and intimacy with ourselves, with others, and most importantly, with God.